Dot Solutions. Add-on desires.
Hello viewers, welcome to Dot Solution Daily Current Affairs. I am Lokesh Pengonda. In this session, we'll cover today's current affairs from both the Hindu and the Indian Express, and in the end, we'll see some practice MCQs as well. Now, we'll begin with the first article where it is stated that Taliban, after taking control of the Spin Boldak border crossing, has proposed for a ceasefire agreement. First, we'll see about the Spin Boldak border crossing. In the image, you can see where Spin Boldak is. Spin Boldak is a border crossing to transport men and material from Pakistan to Afghanistan and from Afghanistan to Pakistan. This Spin Boldak cross border is being used, and yesterday what we have seen is the Taliban taking control of this important border crossing area, and after taking control of this border crossing area, Taliban has offered a 3 months ceasefire. So what do you mean by a ceasefire? When two parties agree for a ceasefire, it means that these two parties will not attack each other. So if Taliban and Afghan government is agreeing for a ceasefire, it means that the Taliban will not attack the Afghan government and the Afghan government will not attack the Taliban between the period of the agreed ceasefire. And Taliban has asked the government for a 3 month ceasefire, stating that Taliban will accept the ceasefire if the Afghan government releases 7,000 Taliban prisoners who have been kept in various jails of the Afghan government. So this is with respect to the Spin Boldak border crossing and with respect to the proposed ceasefire of the Taliban. Our next article is talking about the Olympic Laurel Award. So what is this Olympic Laurel Award? Starting from the year 2016, the International Olympics Committee has stated that for every Olympics, we will award this Olympic Laurel Award. This Olympic Laurel Award to those individuals who have done extensive work in the development of the sports. And it is stated that for the 2021 Olympics that are being scheduled to happen in Tokyo, for this Olympics, Mr. Mohammad Yunus will be given this prestigious Olympic Laurel Award. Now we'll see some brief background about Mr. Mohammad Yunus. He is an economist and he has already received the Nobel Peace Prize from the Nobel Committee, and he is a Bangladeshi national Now we'll see about the Olympic Laurel Award. This is awarded just to one individual or to one organization for every Olympics. So as Olympics takes place once in every 4 years, only one person or only one organization can be given this award once in 4 years. And now we'll see about the International Olympics Committee, because this is the committee that will formally approve the individual and that will formally give this award to that individual. This International Olympics Committee is based in Lausanne, that is the headquarters of this International Olympics Committee. Lausanne is a city in the Switzerland. It is a city in the Switzerland. Our next article is talking about the US Senate passing a bill to ban all the products coming from China Xinjiang. So we'll first see about China's Xinjiang. There are more than 10 crore Muslim people living in this Xinjiang province of China, and millions of them has been arrested and kept in prisons. So millions of them, including women and children, has been kept in detention centers and prisoners. They have been asked to renounce their religion, and to give their allegiance to the Chinese Communist Party. And from last few years, especially from last 2 decades, what we have been witnessing is lakhs of people getting jailed in this Xinjiang province. But what you need to understand is that majority of these people who are jailed are being used for various manufacturing and various service products. So these people who have been kept under detention centers and jails were being used as forced labor. They are being used as forced labor, and Chinese companies, after using these people as forced labor, will produce some manufacturing equipment and will produce some other devices as well, and these merchandise and these equipment are being sold to many countries. So what we can understand is that by using these people as forced labor, they are committing numerous human rights violations. So to prevent these companies and to punish these companies using forced labor in Xinjiang, United States Senate has passed this important bill as to prevent and prohibit the goods coming from Xinjiang province of China. Our next article is talking about the ban on MasterCard and the ban on American Express. American Express. So what are MasterCards and American Express? Every time you go to the ATM, you generally use debit card or credit card. So you use debit card or credit card to withdraw some amount of money. These cards, though provided by different banks, the names of these cards will be either American Express or MasterCard, or it may be Visa. So Visa, MasterCard and American Express are some of the important producers and important providers of these debit and credit cards. These debit and credit cards are used by numerous banks and financial institutions, and it is stated that the MasterCard and American Express cards have been blocked. That is, no new MasterCards and American Express cards can be used by the banks from now onwards. Why are they being banned and prohibited? The reason is this MasterCard and American Express are not conforming and are not following the 2018 rules of the RBI. So we'll see about the 2018 rules gave by the Reserve Bank of India. Reserve Bank of India, to ensure that there is proper supervision, of transactions that are happening in the country, has asked these card development and card providing agencies to make sure that the data of transactions of Indians should be stored in India, So we'll understand this with an example. Let's say you are using an SBI debit card. Though it is the State Bank of India that is providing this SBI card, the card may be either provided by American Express or MasterCard, and you might use this card to draw some amount from the ATM. So when you draw some amount from the ATM, a transaction would take place, and the data of this financial transaction would be stored by the American Express, which is providing their cards to the SBI. And RBI has stated that all those card providers who are providing their cards to various banks and financial institutions have to store the data of the transactions within India, so that these financial transactions can be secured and can be supervised. But several foreign agencies, including these American Express and MasterCard, have not accepted and are not following the RBI guidelines, and that's why RBI has asked banks and financial institutions to stop using the cards provided by the MasterCard and American Express as of today. Our next article is talking about the increasing of customs duty, levied on solar panels and other related products. So we'll see why the custom duties has been increasing. In the article, it is stated that Mr. R.K. Singh, who is India's Minister for Power and Renewable Energy, has stated in a summit that India will levy 40% tax as customs duty on those products coming from other countries relating to the solar panels and solar modules. So what are these solar panels, modules or cells. To produce renewable energy, we might be using either wind energy, we might be using either solar energy or any other energy. So to capture the sunlight, you have to use solar panels and cells so that you can produce electricity. But India is generally importing a lot number of solar panels and cells, mainly from countries such as China and Malaysia. So a majority of the solar panels and modules we are using to produce electricity are being imported from China and Malaysia, and as a result of it, India have to pay a lot amount of money to these foreign countries. So to prohibit the number of imports and to promote the local manufacturing capabilities of solar panels and modules, government has stated that it will impose 40% as the customs duty on solar panels starting from the year 2022's April. So what do you mean by customs duty? The taxes that the government of a country will levy on imports and exports of a product are called as custom duty. So if a product is coming from China, when this product comes to the India's port, that is, it may be airport or it may be water port, when this product comes to India, government will levy some percentage of the tax. So if the product is costing 100 rupees, from next year onwards it will cost 140 rupees. So this is what we mean by customs duties, and this customs duties has been increased from 15% currently to 40% from the next year. Our next article is talking about India's investment in Afghanistan. From the last 2 decades, that is since Taliban government has been brought down, India has invested nearly 3 billion worth investments. So how much is 3 billion? It is nearly 21 lakh crore. It is nearly 21 lakh crore. This huge amount has been invested in construction of dams, roads and for trade infrastructure. And in this article, they have been mentioning about these dams, roads and other infrastructure constructed with India's support and India's investment. And now it is stated that when Taliban comes to power, these investments made in all these regions might be under attack. So we'll see some important infrastructure items which have been constructed with India's support and investment. First major investment is done in the construction of the Salma Dam. In the image, you can see a dam. This is named as Salma Dam, and now it is being changed to the Afghan India Friendship Dam. So the dam, which is Salma Dam or the India Afghan Friendship Dam, is a dam constructed in Afghanistan. Indian government has supported this construction with millions of dollars investment and millions of dollars as grant, and now Taliban might destroy this dam. And apart from this, there are some infrastructure projects like Jaranj Delaram project, where India has invested nearly 5,000 crores. So we'll see where Jaranj Delaram highway is. In the image, you can see the Chabahar port. As Pakistan is not allowing transportation of goods from India to Afghanistan, what we are doing is we are transporting our goods to the Chabahar port of Iran, and from this Chabahar port, goods are being sent to the Iranian border, and from there the Jaranj Delaram highway will take these goods into the Afghanistan. So to make sure the products that are being sent to Chabahar port are being reached to the Afghanistan, we have supported the construction of Jaranj Delaram highway. So you should remember that Salma Dam and the Jaranj Delaram highway are in Afghanistan, and they have been constructed mainly with India's support. Our next article is talking about strikes that are happening in the Syria. These are the air strikes, and in the article it is mentioned that white helmets have been helping people who have been attacked by these air strikes. So in the image, you can see an individual who is wearing a white helmet. So who are these individuals who are termed as white helmets? White helmets are officially known as the Syrian Defense Team, Syrian Civil Defense Team. You know that a significant part of Syria was under the occupation and was under the control of various militants, and last few years Syria along its ally Russia has been attacking these people and taking back the territory which used to be under the control of militants. And when Syria and Russia are attacking these militants and militia with air attacks, sometimes buildings might be collapsing, sometimes people might be injured and people might die. So to help these individuals who have been attacked by the airstrikes of Syria and other governments, these white helmets who are Syrian Civil Defense Team are working. So this is with respect to the white helmets and with respect to the Syrian government airstrikes. Our next article is talking about the special rules for the vintage vehicles. In the last year, what we have seen is the government coming up with a vehicle scrappage policy. Vehicle scrappage policy. And it is stated that the vehicle scrappage policy will exempt these vintage vehicles. So what are the vintage vehicles? According to the proposed rule and the proposed definition by the government, vintage vehicles are those vehicles that are either two-wheeler or four-wheeler that have been purchased and that have been registered more than 50 years ago. So we know that several people who like two-wheelers and four-wheelers store vehicles in their own garages and homes. These might be more than 50 years old. So all these vehicles which are not being used for commercial and passenger purpose, but rather to safeguard them, are called as vintage vehicle. And in the vehicle scrappage policy, these are exempted. So what is this vehicle scrappage policy? It is stated in this policy that vehicles, that is the commercial vehicles, if they are more than 15 years old, they have to undergo a mandatory checking, and a passenger vehicle that is used by common people should go for a mandatory checking if it is more than 20 years. So when these vehicles undergo a mandatory checking, and if the mandatory checking find out that these vehicles are not efficient, and they are polluting, then these vehicles will have to be scrapped. This is mainly done to reduce the pollution, because vehicles which are generally old pollutes more and they consumes more amount of fuel. So first reason is they are less efficient, second is they are more polluting, and the third is they are not as safe as the new vehicles. So to ensure that all these problems are handled well, the government of India has come out with this vehicle scrappage policy, where a commercial vehicle more than 15 years and a passenger vehicle more than 20 years have to undergo a checking after this given period of time. But the vintage vehicles have been exempted from this rule, so as to make sure that people who are collecting these vehicles can keep these vehicles for a longer period of time. Our next article is talking about Mr. Tipu Sultan. So we'll just see about the background of Mr. Tipu Sultan. Tipu Sultan was the ruler of Mysore princely state He is the son of the Mysore ruler Mr. Hyder Ali. Now we'll see the significance of Mr. Tipu Sultan. Mr. Tipu Sultan has been a pioneer of rocket technology in India, and he's also stated as follower of democracy. So he is a follower and promoter of democracy, and for this reason he have brought and planted something called as a liberty tree. So he is the person who has planted liberty tree at a place called as Seringapattanam. Seringapattanam. And with the war with the British, and in a war with the British, he has lost his life. And he is widely regarded as a freedom fighter and a great warrior. Now we'll start with the practice MCQs. Our first question, Spin Bulldog, which is recently seen in the news, is in which country? Is it in Syria? Is it in Venezuela? Is it in Cuba? Or is it in Afghanistan? The answer is D, Afghanistan. Our next question, which country has banned all products coming from China's Xinjiang province? Is it United Kingdom? Is it United States? Is it Canada? Or is it India? The answer is B, United States. Our next question is, the Olympic laurel for Tokyo Olympics this year is awarded to? Is it Mr. Mohammad Yunus? Is it Mr. Federer? Is it Mr. Lionel Messi? Is it Mr. Emmanuel Macron? The answer is A, Mohammad Yunus is the awardee for this Olympics laurel award. And with this we have come to the end of this session. Inform about ADOT's initiative to your other aspirant friends. You can visit ADOT's website to attempt more mock tests based on today's current affairs. Thank you for watching.
Add-on solutions. Add-on desires.